Not Moved is the worst podcast on TikTok.
There we go. What's up, guys? We are back at you again. It's Tuesday this time, talking NBA basketball this week, and unfortunately, we don't have our casual friend Retro.
Are you
Retro
sure
music.
that's unfortunate at this point?
Yeah, I don't know, because Molly isn't necessarily important when it comes to the debate side of things, but we do have a good friend of mine on the basketball historian
Go
side of
fuck
things,
myself.
Gunnar the Runner. Justin, relax.
There is no history
friend.
of basketball. Anything before Jordan didn't exist.
That's fucking disgusting. All right,
that's
anyway,
crazy.
Our friend Gunnar the Runner is here.
Gunnar, we're going to ask you this, and this has nothing to pertain to the actual podcast. It has everything to do with what Jules just said. Who dubbed Jules Molly? Do you remember that?
Oh,
because
I do not.
That's been a running gag on our fucking show.
I don't remember.
Forever.
I know the joke. I just don't remember who dubbed it.
It's been a running gag on our podcast that I was watching back one of our other ones where I got so mad at Retro. I said, the fact that you want to bring these delusional takes and live in make-believe land, you want to act like Molly when we already have Jules who is Molly, is fucking... I just literally went...
Yeah.
Oh, so.
Just crazy. It's just fucking crazy. Relax. But to continue the intro, we have Gunnar the Runner here. What's up, Gunnar? Like, how are things? And tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into our weekly slate.
Oh, it's going good. Sadly, actually, nah. The Celtics in that top 10 pick this year. Otherwise, I'm Gunnar. I do like to run. Used to post running content. But I've been in the basketball community, the historian side, since probably 2020, I'd say. Trying to go back in the history, learn the game, how it is per era, so on and so forth. Big John Havlicek stan. That's all I got.
There you go.
Well, I'm here too. So anyway,
Justin.
yeah, crazy. Hi, I'm here too. Gunnar is our resident Celtics fan that actually has a brain and knowledge and concept of the game. Shout out Glor for being the opposite of everything I just said. NBA week fucking 5 already. I mean, is it anyone else think it's crazy that we're like a fifth of the season done already?
It's crazy.
It is.
It comes and goes so damn fast and we don't even realize it. Like, we're 20 games into the season already almost? Like 18 games into the season, and I mean, I got questions. I have one of the front runners. I have both front runners correct already. Like I said before the year started, with the injuries in the East, that Detroit would be up here and nobody was going to touch them. Did not think it was going to be this unbelievable. They've been insane. And OKC was just, the way the league looks right now, I think they were the favorites to repeat, and everyone's like, oh, well, everyone said this about Boston last year. I fucking didn't. I sure the fuck didn't. I knew Boston would get there and choke. Sorry JT got hurt, Gunnar, but I just didn't think that...
it's all good.
I didn't think that that's how that was going to happen, but I just didn't think they were going to have the ability to go back-to-back. They weren't the team for it, so...
No, that's totally fair. I had Boston going to the finals, but not winning it.
I had them. You can ask Jules. I missed 2 series the entire playoffs, and they were separated by a game.
So if you guys want to know that he picked the fucking Pacers to pick what's the East. Shout out to Justin for that.
Justin.
I picked the Pacers to win the finals in 7 games. They just happened to lose in 7 because Tyrese got hurt. And everyone can flame me, oh, well, if Tyrese doesn't get hurt, OKC still could have won if Tyrese didn't get hurt. But that was the best Tyrese has looked in that short amount of time that he played in that Game 7. That was the best Tyrese we were going to see. But anyway, Jules, we pulled a retro, and I feel really bad about it.
Oh, God.
Since us glazing the Jazz, they've been 0-4. And... But it was against top tier comps, so I can't be mad. Can't really be mad. It's the Jazz playing against, I believe it was OKC, the Lakers twice, and Golden State. So cool. Whatever. They lost to those teams. All of those teams are expected to be top 5 seeds. Not really worried about it. So, with that being said, I will continue to glaze the Jazz. Jules will continue to glaze the Jazz. When Retro comes back, we will all be glazing the Jazz. Again, our question will be every week, where is Laurie going to end up at the deadline? Because it won't be Utah.
Well, and that's what we were kind of doing off screen, Gunnar and myself, because per inside sources on our end, there's been some conversations with that team in New York about not being sold by a certain big man.
Gunnar, let me hear this cat won't be in New York by Christmas thing, because I wasn't in the live to hear this.
So per inside source, he's supposed to be going there for Christmas, right? Supposed to be meeting Cat and all this. Per inside source, he is saying that today got confirmation that plans have now been canceled.
Cancel Christmas.
And but plans have been canceled. Potentially a 4-team trade going on with it. We're trying to figure out if it is actually Cat. It makes sense money-wise if it's going to be Cat.
Okay.
Because he's got the largest contract on that team. Or if it's gonna be like a Mikhail or a OG, which I wouldn't do OG if I'm the Knicks. Way too valuable on the floor.
Well, let me hear it.
So from what I was hearing, Laurie's gone in Utah.
Okay.
Karl Anthony Towns gone in New York, right?
Okay.
The other 2 teams were the Bulls and the Pelicans that I've been hearing.
Wow. So what? That'd
Trey
be
Murphy.
Yeah. Pieces. I'm gonna assume what? Pieces to Utah to get better? And then who the fuck are the Bulls gonna give up in that?
Me and Jules looking at it was Vucevic was probably a part of it. Vus and was it Pat Will when we were looking at it?
You know what? Please let this trade happen, because if Laurie ends up on the Bulls again after they didn't pay him, would just be the icing on the cake for Chicago sports.
Well, Laurie would not be going to the Bulls.
Laurie's going to the Big Apple.
From when that's what we were looking at. It's Laurie to the Big Apple.
What we were trying to figure out, and I was close to doing it, but I couldn't figure it out. But basically, they would have to cut somebody that's a 2-way player, a G League guy, to make $500K, make it happen. But it was Laurie and Laurie to the Knicks for Karl Anthony Towns and Deuce McBride. Vooch to the Pelicans with Patrick Williams, and the Bulls get Herb Jones and Trey Murphy III.
I hate that on all grounds except for Laurie going.
I do too. Grounds. I think that so if that were to happen, obviously Cat to Utah, that gives them a number 1 option, and that gives them a legitimate threat to build around up until Ace Bailey is able to develop, and Keontae George is another scoring option as a young guy, helps that core out. Great. Now with the Knicks, Brunson being an on-ball creator and Lauri Markkanen being an off-ball guy, you now create an off-ball motion to where Mike Brown is going to love Lauri as an off-ball scorer. That legitimizes your offense with 2 wing guys and OG and Mikhail. Great.
Yeah. Am I wrong that the Knicks are the only team that gets better in this trade?
Well, I kind of disagree.
I disagree, and this is where we were talking about the Bulls, is that the Bulls have been great in transition. Billy Donovan loves to push the pace. That's why Josh Giddey's there, and he makes them look better than they should, even though they're mid-team, because he presses the transition really well. But now once you get Trey Murphy and Herb Jones, you have now 2 3-and-D guys with Kobe White and Josh Giddey at your helm, and now you have a Noah Senge who hasn't any playing time and that develop them into now, okay, Chicago looks at least decent. And then the Pelicans, they're trying to blow everything fuck up. So getting a bad contract in Patrick Williams and getting Vooch to pair with Zion if he doesn't get moved, that gives you something going into the future with Jeremiah Fears, Zion. We don't know where DeJounte Murray is going to be, and so on and so forth. So, like, basically, on all grounds, I think the best team out of this trade in the long term is Chicago. The immediate winners is definitely New York. And Utah now gets, at least a player and the young core going
that
forward.
whole situation blows up our thoughts from last week where we think Zion's on the move.
That's the biggest thing too, because I do think the Pelicans are going to blow it up. But if they go and get Vooch, he's a spacer. He's been a legitimate good spacer for Chicago, where now Zion has ample space within the paint.
He just hit that big game winner against Portland.
Exactly. So if the Pelicans aren't going to blow it up, which I agree, Justin, you and I think that they should. They blow up, get rid of Zion, Trey Murphy, DeJounte Murray, all these bad contracts. Now you have something to where you're still going to be a bad team, but Vooch now gives you a legitimate 18-10, and Zion's giving you 22, 23, and 7. That's not horrible if you're not sold going forward.
At that point, it'd be play-in or bust.
Literally, and that's what's awful is making the play-in. But I don't know. Well, then that's going to bring me to one of the other three we talked about getting traded. We heard these LaMelo Ball trade rumors that he's frustrated and this, that, and the other. And then LaMelo comes out with an interview and in 4 words says, I love being here. He says he loves Charlotte. In my notes, I literally have in all caps right after, stop the cap. Ain't nobody want to fucking be there. You don't want to be there. If anybody comes a knocking for your ass, you're going to say, yes, please. And I don't know where a good fit for him would be. I have an interesting take on it, and I don't want to bring it up just yet because I want to see how this team continues to move forward as they're starting to rise, and they've been called frauds and this, that, and the other, but they have a lot of young talent. They have a lot of talent that they can develop and make work. So I had the thought that he could be going someplace, I'll just say someplace warm. And it could be really an interesting pairing between him and another pretty good guard and a pretty good emerging big man. So I just would like to see if he's really happy in Charlotte or if they might try and make the move that I would like to see them make because I think it'd be a really interesting pairing.
So very quickly, I think these comments are hypocritical because of a couple things. Because Justin and Gunnar, I know you watch our football side of things. I've been the Justin Fields stand, right? And you guys understood with Chicago that they didn't build shit around him, and they had DJ Moore. He had a good year, and then they shipped off Justin. LaMelo Ball on the Charlotte Hornets team. They have not given him anything. They gave him Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller's been hurt. Now they draft a guard, Cotton Knippel. They draft Kalkbrenner to where now this team, at least in the perspective of LaMelo, isn't his anymore. They're looking at Cotton Knippel, who's the favorite of Rookie of the Year, and they're saying, we're going to revolve around you because you're not hurt and you don't bitch and moan. You have a promising future. So Miles Bridges, since LaMelo Ball has been out, have been giving you really good playing time. They haven't been winning games, but this core revolves around Knippel and not LaMelo Ball. So LaMelo Ball requesting a trade is perfectly valid, and him saying, "Oh, I want to be here" is fucking bullshit. Like I don't understand that. So I think he does get traded. And I'm interested once we get to it, Justin, to see what your team. But Gunnar, give your thoughts on this really quick.
I think he gets traded. I'm don't know where. I'm between honestly Phoenix and Miami.
Get ready to learn LaMelo Ball, Justin.
Gunner's right on my mindset. He ain't coming to my team though.
Well, I think it'd be an interesting pairing in Phoenix.
No.
No, I'm just saying
No.
interesting, Justin. I'm
No.
just saying
We
interesting.
already have 2 guards, and one of them severely is overrated and injury prone. I don't need another one who's severely overrated and injury prone. No fucking thank you.
Well, that's why you trade him. In this trade, you get
Yeah.
rid of Jalen Green, you get LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
I'd
You get
rather
an
have
upgrade.
Jalen Green.
No, there's no way you're saying
No
that ever
way.
in this
Have
trade,
Jalen
There's
baby.
no way.
And here's
I know
no,
you're a Jalen
no,
Green hater
no,
too.
no. And
And
here's why. Here's honest to God why. Jalen Green will be willing to fit the narrative in Phoenix. LaMelo's gonna come in. He ain't gonna want to fit shit. He's gonna want to be the guy. And he ain't the
I don't
guy
know.
over down. He
no,
ain't the guy over
and
Book. I'm sorry.
that's a fair point. I was interested in how like the Phoenix offense would be with LaMelo. Because I think he fits the system in a way.
Nope.
Just not as
Yes.
no, he
Jules,
does,
no, we're
just
not
not
doing this. We're
as
not doing this because we
Yes.
just talked about this. We just talked about this last week. We just talked about how the offense works better with the ball in Devin fucking Booker's hands. Now you want to
it
bring in
does.
another
No, I'm
fucking
not.
guy who's a ball dominant fucking point guard. Yes, he's a very good playmaker, but he's a ball dominant shot chucker. So what you want to do is you want to make our team worse by taking the ball out of Booker's hands. Got it.
So then why would it work in Miami when they don't have a ball, when their off-ball motions, they are the lowest team in passes in a half-court set? Tyler Hero coming back is giving you 24 and 7 with 0 assists because all they do is Tyler
That's the
Hero is
guy
going
they
to be
ship
the
out.
guy, and Bam.
That's the guy they
I
ship
don't
out.
think so.
Whoa,
I don't think so.
no.
No. They
No.
wouldn't be. They couldn't be able to do that. They would not be able to do that.
Yeah.
I much rather LaMelo Ball if he were to be traded. Not like I would. I think it's Phoenix, but I know how you feel about that. I just don't think a ball dominant guard would fit
Oh, I
a
don't think you
system to
understand.
where
I
there's no
like
true
LaMelo
point guard.
Ball. I like LaMelo Ball. I have 2 of his jerseys. I'm a big fan of LaMelo Ball. I've been following the kid since he was fucking 14 years old at fucking Chino Hills.
And Chino,
When he was the second best ball brother, when Lonzo was the worst ball brother. Believe me, I understand. I've followed this
now
fucking family for a long
third
fucking time.
behind Jello.
Jello was the best. Jello was the best.
Yeah.
He was a 2-way player that could play lockdown and shoot the lights out.
Yep.
That man ruined his own fucking career. He had the best chance to success in that family, and the shock and awe that baby fucking Melo is the fucking answer to their success is crazy. But hey, I'm a swerve in the corner. Whoa.
Type shit. All I'm saying is I just don't think that the Miami system will fit him because what Eric Spoelstra has been. Shout out to Eric Spoelstra, by the way, being able to implement a completely new offense with Bam. Khalil Ware is looking fan-fucking-tastic. Shout out Khalil Ware.
He can't play for this team.
Tyler Hero came back from his injury.
He can get traded for that guy right there. He can get traded for that guy right there.
Why would they do that?
Why wouldn't they?
Because I think Tyler makes it because he's a way better off-ball player than LaMelo. I think LaMelo can't play off-ball. I think he's incapable of doing it.
I think
Go ahead.
I think that with the ability of his playmaking ability, yes, he's a shot chucker, but his playmaking ability, along with Davion Mitchell and Khalil Ware, works way better than anything Tyler Hero will do with those 2. Can you imagine that playmaking?
Elevate them?
Can you imagine that playmaking high pick and roll with Khalil Ware rolling to the fucking bucket? Get out of here.
I think you make a great point, but I think with Mark Williams being able to space the floor compared to Khalil Ware, and Bam Adebayo is a terrible fucking jump shooter. It's gross.
Here's the thing: if Miami gets him, and I'd really like Miami to get him. That's my pick on that. If Miami can get him, Tyler Hero has to accept that Tyler Hero is the 6th man, and he has to be the 6th man because Davion needs to start for that team because I think he's the best 2-way player on that team.
I mean, do you not think Bam is the best?
No, after what Heat Culture said, I don't want to give Bam any credit ever again. Thank you, though.
Shout out Heat Culture. Shout out Heat Culture.
Yeah, shout out Heat Culture.
That Bam is better than Prime Shaq. I don't ever want to fucking hear anybody talk basketball ever again. That literally,
that's fair.
That is the nastiest thing ever. And now I really want the Heat to finish like how many ever wins they have now and the rest of the game's losses because that's just going to be Now, the fact that he said shit like that, and I get that's one blatantly stupid Miami Heat fan. Your team is now officially on fraud watch. Bam is officially on fraud watch. You guys better finish top 3 in the East, otherwise you don't fucking hold a candle to anything you ever say. I will put that on record right now.
I will disagree. I don't think they're on fraud watch. I think how Eric Spoelstra has implemented this system, like I said before,
How
I'm
Mike
impressed.
Tomlin of the NBA works, yeah. How the Mike Tomlin of the NBA works? Yeah, believe me, I know. I used to be a Miami fan when Wade was there because I followed him out of Marquette because that's 20 minutes down the road. Believe me, I know how that works. I know how Eric Spoelstra's coaching mind works. I know how his everything works. I understand the ins and outs of the Miami franchise. I understand how Pat Riley will only fucking pick players that he handpicks to play on his team because he doesn't want to build people that don't involve the Heat culture. Oh, believe me, I understand how that shit works. So
yeah,
if anyone wants to talk about the ins and outs of the Miami fucking franchise or what Heat culture is, believe me, I can give it to you head and shoulders. Because if you don't fit the Pat Riley mold, I don't give a fuck what Eric Spoelstra is doing. You don't belong on that team. And I'll tell you right now, the flash and flare that LaMelo Ball can bring to that team, on top of his ability to shoot the ball, maybe he's a PR nightmare in Miami, which could very well be a possibility. But I think that's a Pat Riley guy through and through.
I think out of anybody on the trade market right now, I don't think there's any Pat Riley guys. I really don't.
I'm not really seeing any.
I'm not sold on it.
But that's the thing is he is the most likely to fit that role.
I mean, it's a good possibility, but at the same time,
Gunnar, that's the thing is like you shake your head and you're like, damn, that's kind of shitty.
I'm kind of thinking it. Like he is, but he isn't. You know?
Yeah. But like I was saying, I think Khalil Ware needs to get way more minutes because as soon as Bam came back, his PT is starting to go down. He needs to be their starting center. That point blank period. Khalil Ware has been giving you 20 and 20 night in and night out. That kid is a monster.
That's a guy who needs to be on the move. I don't care what anybody says. They can say Bam's the heart and soul of Heat culture. They need to trade Bam to get Ware the minutes because they're not going to play them both. And
I love Ware.
The other night,
Ware's really fucking good.
Didn't he put up like 16 and 18 the other night? Like the kid was fucking just having a game.
And then went 21 and 17 and then went 18 of 22. This guy's like, when we think about like old school rebounding low post centers that is going to dominate and block shots, Khalil Ware is great.
I hope that this dude and Donovan Clingan really bring that back. Because they are
They
are just the epitome of old school centers. I'm going to get nasty in the paint. You're going to have to try to take this fucking ball from me, and you're going to have to fight me for it. Because Khalil Ware's a dog, and so is Clingan. Clingan had 22 fucking rebounds the other night.
Yeah, and Donovan Clingan, like, compared to Ware, actually, like, shoots threes, but they're either from the short corner or, like, from the top of the key, which is, like, pretty stereotypical when it comes to like a low post center where they will shoot threes. But it's low volume, so he's getting you 3 to 4 shots from 3 a night, which is I think completely fine.
Can you imagine if Khalil Ware gets on the fucking Wembanyama training program and we're gonna have 2 of these motherfuckers rolling around?
Khalil Ware is great. Khalil Ware, I was high on him when he came out. I have
nothing but good things to say about him, and I'll tell you right now, if I could get somebody in Phoenix to build around, I would love that to happen. Miami landed a fucking future superstar, and that kid's gonna be fucking good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But with fraud watches, because you said Miami, what are some other teams that you highlighted? I'm interested.
We'll get to that. We'll take a whole fucking segment to go over fraud watches. We'll get to that.
Okay.
I want to talk about a specific game because, Jules, I haven't been able to see a lot of games this year. I've been playing the fucking recap game and trying to catch what I can. Did either of you get to watch the Denver-Houston NBA Cup game?
Yes.
Oh my fucking God. For the players
fucking game.
For the players that were injured in that, for them to play the way they did, Reed Shepard went for 27, had a phenomenal game against a top-tier contender. Was head and shoulders their best player because KD and Sengun were just like there. Like they just held space on the floor. I think one of them had 16, one of them had 18. Not their normal nights. Just not there. Jokic was 1 assist off of a triple-double. Jamal Murray was hitting clutch shots like he was playoff Jamal Murray. He was actually giving a shit about a regular season game, which was kind of crazy to see. This game, through and through, was one of the better games in the NBA I've seen in a long time.
It was a great game to watch.
It's nice to see that teams are actually going to give a shit during the regular season and actually put up a fight, because we've seen it for years now, and this is why Jules likes to say Jamal Murray's not a playoff riser, because he coasts through the regular season. If Jamal Murray can give us this kind of performance, this kind of effort, night in and night out, I want to see what happens when he gets to the playoffs to see if he can actually elevate the game he's giving us now. Because if he continues to play like this, if he can keep up this play for the rest of the season and then elevate in the playoffs, we're going to be looking at something that we didn't think he was, and it's going to be something special to watch.
Well, two things. One, I will give credit to Jamal Murray because for these first 20 or 18 games, Jamal Murray has completely impressed me with the play in which he has had. He's had some stinkers in there, but majority of the time he's been really good. Same thing before Aaron Gordon went down. He's been looking like an all-star this year, and this holds twofold, is that now the narrative is going to be Jokic does have help. He has a competent team, and it's not necessarily going to be a backpack. It's going to be competent players, and they need to go and do their job. And at the same time, Murray and Gordon, once he comes back, need to do their part, because now it's going to be who, if they end up losing somehow, because I have them actually going to the title. I think they are the only team to beat OKC. I really do. I think OKC is a juggernaut, but I like what Denver has had. My thing is going to be, and you can disagree, that's completely fine. That's completely fine, Justin. Is how is Gordon going to be implemented? Because you were just beautifully talking about Tyrese Halliburton against the Thunder. Aaron Gordon was giving that same Thunder team fucking hell before he went down. So that's a big if as well.
Yeah.
So if he comes back and he's giving you the same production as what he was prior to getting hurt, and Jamal Murray's looking like this,
he's not going to give the same. He's not going to give the same production. He's going to give good production, but it won't be the same. And I have the exact reason why. And I'm going to give the shout out to the former future of the Phoenix Suns, Cameron Johnson. This man has not been putting up the numbers he's supposed to, but anybody, and we talked about this the other night on a live with somebody, whoever the fuck said Cam Johnson isn't playing good basketball right now is not watching Cam Johnson play basketball.
Yeah.
This man is the heart and soul of this team, not in the scoring column. This man is playing defense. He's making the right reads. He's setting hard off-ball screens. He is doing everything that nobody wants to do in this day and age in the NBA flawlessly. Is he putting up the numbers that he should be? No. You're seeing Cam Johnson put up role player numbers. Why? He's a role player. Why are you thinking Cam Johnson should put up more numbers? Because he was just the guy in fucking Brooklyn, of all fucking places. He's not going to go into Denver, a title contending team, and go and put up Brooklyn numbers. If you thought that, you just don't know how this game works. Cam Johnson is going back to the role he had on the Phoenix Suns, which is basically what Aaron Gordon is. So you're going to tell me that you're going to have Jamal Murray, you're going to have Aaron Gordon, Cam Johnson, the MVP Jokic, and you think that these motherfuckers ain't going to run through people? They're not getting through OKC, and if the Rockets click correctly, the Rockets are going to beat them too. I'm just telling you that now, because it's going to be inconsistency through 7 games.
Yeah, no, and I agree, and I'm glad you brought up Cam Johnson, because if you look at the box scores that a lot of the people do, you'll think that Cam Johnson isn't looking good. But if you actually watch the games, he's not even the third option. He's the fourth option before Aaron Gordon went down, setting off-ball screens and all this kind of stuff. And ironically, as soon as Aaron Gordon goes down, guess what? Cam Johnson's giving you 26 and 5. So he's doing what he needs to do for this team. Now, for the take of what you had, I have said the exact same thing. The only reason that Denver wouldn't make the NBA championship is if they run into Houston, or OKC is just like continuing what they do in the regular season and
I'll tell you right now, I could see San Antonio putting belt to ass on Denver too. Once Wemby
I
no,
wish,
here's the
but
thing. Once Wemby comes back and that team starts clicking in full, you got to remember these guys haven't played a full season together yet. They had the injury with Fox and Wemby at the end of the season last year, so you had younger guys trying to step up and play outside their means. They were babies trying to swim in the ocean at high tide. Like, they couldn't fucking do anything. Not you're gonna have your stars back, you're gonna have your role players back with the offseason additions that you made. These guys are gonna come through. I understand, Jules. We talk about it every time we talk about your Spurs. I know you're not high on a certain player on your team, but that is the guy who is going to be the make or break for your team. I don't care what you have to say
Mr.
about it.
100%.
No, not Mr. 100%. It's Devin Vassell. Jules can't
No,
stand
it's
Devin
Vassell is
Vassell.
getting
Mr.
traded. He's getting
100%.
traded. He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. No. Devin Vassell is a fucking cancer. I cannot stand it. Fuck him.
I'm telling you, he's
But
not.
he has value.
He does have
dog,
value.
he does have value, and why he's going to be ran into the back of the lineup once Dylan Harper comes back, once Castle comes back, and De'Aaron Fox. He's gonna get no PT. He's gonna
I'm
get
telling
none.
you right now, if you guys trade that guy, he's gonna hop on a contender and come back and give you guys belt to ass, and he's gonna be laughing all the way to the fucking bank.
And I'm going to be laughing when Mr. 100% and Keldon Johnson is moving me and Jeremy Sohan is moving me in the offs. Now, because I don't want to get much more into it, because Gunnar, I want your opinion on this kind of stuff. I wanted to finish what I was saying.
Yeah.
The Houston Rockets and the Nuggets, I think I'm with you. I think Houston brings specific problems to Jokic because they can run double big lineups and they're going to be offensive rebounding hounds, which I don't, unless they play Jonas Valanciunas and Jokic at the same time. They cannot body them up at the same time. And then, like I said, OKC is just going to be OKC. So depending on if Houston and the Thunder play against each other, that's going to be Denver's best bet to make it to a Western Conference Finals and let them beat up on each other and take the scraps. I agree.
And Gunnar, before you rebuttal at it, I just want to say, with the Nuggets, playing Sacktown the other night, Russ kind of got his revenge or whatever. Watching this game,
yes.
Watching this game and knowing how Caruso played defense against Jokic last year, I was shocked to see that Russ wasn't the one lining up against Jokic, trying to be a pest, trying to body him, play physical, and this, that, and the other. They ended up getting the job done, and Russ actually played pretty well in the fourth quarter. But it was nice to see Russ get that little level of revenge after them basically saying, yeah, we don't need you, goodbye, da-da-da-da. And literally, you could see it. He was wearing his heart on his sleeve. Anytime he'd do something, I believe he got a stop and threw the ball off Jokic, and they called timeout and walking back to the bench. He looked over at Denver's bench and was like, fuck out of here, fuck y'all. And I was like, all right, Russ, I love it. Let's see it. So we got to see a little bit of prime angry Russ back, and I was pretty happy about it.
I'm with Jules. I had Denver winning the NBA championship this year. I did. I believe that their roster construction, they built the bench, so you're not relying on just really one guy off the bench, you know? They got a good, sure he's streaky, but man, can he shoot the hell out of the ball when he is on, in Tim Hardaway Jr. Bruce Brown always plays his best when he's by Jokic, as we've seen. Cam Johnson is the heart and soul. The guy I think that does need to step up more and be consistent in a playoff run is Peyton Watson. I feel like he's got to be a consistent offensive threat in order for that team to make it all far, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He's a great defender already, but I just want to see more out of him, and he's been providing good offense this whole season. It's still just a little too inconsistent for my liking.
Are we then just discrediting that? I think the guy that really needs to step up for this team, and I know it's hard to say because he's injured right now and we don't know he's going to come back off injury, but it's the other guy they're missing out of their starting five is Christian Braun. I think that's another player that is
that's a fair point.
Severely underrated for the role that he actually brings to this team.
So the one thing that concerns me about Christian Braun, if you go look at it, and I know we're not the biggest analytics people here. We like eye tests, and Justin. If you go look at like cherry picked points, Christian Braun is like leading guards in dunks and by cherry pick points by a significant margin. So, as a full court player, Christian Braun is one of the best in the NBA. He can space the floor really really well. I much rather once the pace starts to slow down and becomes half court sets. Christian Braun, I think it needs to step up. I would agree. In said role of how can you be an off motion player with Jokic and how to be utilized as a really, you could argue, a fifth option depending on if they're going to go with Johnson or him.
And
I think that's a great point.
This dude's averaging 11, 4, and 3 right now. If this man, when he comes back from injury, can raise this to like 15, 6, and 5, that is all you fucking need from him. That is all you, and it is not out. It is not out of the question. If he can average 1.5 more rebounds a game, 2 more assists, and 4 more points, that's really not out of the question for him to do. And everyone's like, "You're talking about a fifth option, a guy who should be a 6th or 7th man on their roster." No, this guy is the nitty gritty that nobody wants to do. And I mean, this is going to sound insane coming from me, especially because I don't do callbacks on players. But this guy is exactly what Evan Fournier was doing back when Evan Fournier was a prime role player in the NBA.
That's a great
example.
So
that's a great comparison.
If he can do exactly what Fournier was doing at his peak of his career, doing the role playing stuff, if he can raise to that level, and it's not that far off of where he's at, I honestly could change my tune that Denver can't be beat. Because if they have 5 legitimate scoring options that can give you 15 plus a night, good fucking luck.
Well, on the opposite side of things, because I know you were talking about like OKC going back to back, and that's where you chose, and that's, like I said, that's completely fine. My biggest concern with OKC, because I don't think we've talked about it on the NBA side of things now, is that they're on a historic run, and they're going to be capable of maintaining this throughout the whole season. I get that. My biggest concern is when J-Dub gets back, what his role is going to be. Because AJ Mitchell, who's probably going to win 6 in the I don't know.
Nothing changes.
It's hard to say.
Here's why nothing changes. OKC last year, right? OKC battled through the same kind of injuries for a majority of the season, not having their whole roster, not having them healthy. They get to the playoffs, they're fully healthy, and they look like they can't be stopped. Yes, they have 2 7-game series that make it a lot harder on them getting through it. But these guys being injured, I feel like some of these guys that are injured are healthy right now and ready to go. And now we're playing the quote-unquote load management game because things are working. So we're sitting guys for a little bit longer to make sure these injuries don't fester, injuries don't linger. So, like I said, I'm telling you right now, my preseason, before any games were even played, I had OKC in 6 over Detroit. And we have those 2 teams out front right now. That was my talk. And everyone thought I was crazy because I've been backing Cade. I've said since last year, in the next 5 years, Cade will win an MVP. I think if they can continue to play this level of ball, I think it could be this year. He's not going to have the numbers to be the elite front runner and scoring, assists, everything, but he's going to put in complete shifts, he's going to put in complete games, and he's going to lead one of the best offenses in basketball, and he's going to be a top 1, 2, or 3 seed in the East, and I still think they can maintain the East because Miami's not going to keep this level of play up. They're not. That's just not what they're built for. Somebody's going to break down like Hero already did. And whether Hero gets re-injured or something happens to one of their younger guys, it's going to happen. Toronto is playing phenomenal ball right now. I don't think Toronto can keep the pace. That is literally just those are my 2 teams that have the threat to play with Detroit, and I don't think anyone's going to catch them. I think Philly's going to be Philly. They're going to get washed. Maxi's going to be great, but Philly's not going to be anything of a threat to anybody. Maxi's going to be the biggest waste of a great season in Philly, and it's going to be terrible.
I think I understand the point about the Thunder, to rewind a little bit, because they were the 4th most injured team last year, and they were hitting on all cylinders. But J-Dub missed some games last year, but it was 10 games, and having AJ Mitchell will be your 3-and-D guy right now, and who's giving you legitimately 17, 18 points to where J-Dub can obviously, up that to 25. I think it's a little bit harder to implement that. That's just my opinion. But with the Pistons, I'm glad you said that because we specifically, Justin, myself, have been on this Cade train for about a year and a half or two because
Since he
going
got
from a
drafted.
team
As you should.
from 14 wins to 41 wins, and now on pace to 55, 54, something around that range in the East.
Yep.
Now, granted, you can put the context. Okay, the better teams aren't there. That's fine, but he's giving you 25 and 10.
Games. They're winning 60 games.
So like if they win 60 games, that's cool. Regardless, probably the best team in the East. I don't know how they will fare against Toronto. And this is where I want to soft launch this. I've been watching a lot of Toronto Raptors games. People don't like to value the regular season. I'm one of those people, but I like watching how certain systems and certain sets of players are within a set lineup and how they're used against better teams. Toronto, this year, even though, again, small sample size of 20 games, have already beaten the Cavaliers 3 times. Brandon Ingram just came off of a 35-point game on the Defensive Player of the Year's head top. And how Darko is using Scotty. Oh my God. Like, you have graduated the short bus, Scotty Barnes. You are now part of a regular class. Scotty Barnes, you are fantastic. No, Scotty has been fantastic for this team.
He still rides the short bus.
But
he's been fantastic, but he's the line leader on the short bus. He hands out the milk coupons at lunch. I promise you, he's still the captain of the short bus, but the man is balling out. He has been a great piece. Like you said, Darko has done something pretty crazy because I don't think we were ever going to talk about Toronto in this light, especially with the team that they have. I mean,
yes,
you've got 3 players that almost play the exact same game. They're all stretch 3-4 players that can all basically do the same thing. But at this point, that's the NBA we live in. If you can find these carbon copies of players that can all do the same thing, and they're all affordable to have on the same team, of course it's going to fucking work. You just got to put the right pieces with the right coaching mind in front of you.
The only thing with Toronto that I have questions about, front court depth going into a playoff setting.
Yep, that's what I wanted to get into.
Yeah, please go ahead, Gar.
Because I love Jakob Portal, right? But other than him, as a center, what are they gonna provide as big man wise?
Nothing.
You know, that they don't really have that, and I don't think Jakob Portal could play that much or like.
Is this the landing spot for Lauri Markkanen to play center?
Oh shit!
Is this the landing spot for Lauri Markkanen to play center? And then you run. Who's their point guard right now? I don't even know. Who's Toronto's point guard?
Quickly.
So you run Quickly, Bi, RJ, Scotty, and Lauri as your starting 5.
That'd be interesting.
That would be interesting because what they've been excelling at this year is getting out in space. They have been one of the best at volume, at transition offense and defense. They love to run, and that's just why I love watching these Raptors games. But uniquely, if Lauri was able to get here, I don't know if he could because of the contract, but if he were able to get here, he's been the best off-ball scorer in the NBA this year. You have Scotty sending him off-ball picks, DHOs on the left wing, him shooting off dribble shots, and then you have two legitimate guys in Bi and RJ who can give you high volume at around 16 feet. And what I love what Scotty's been doing in these sets of like PNR, he's setting these ghost screens and coming directly down and getting it directly into the dunker spot to where if the PNR doesn't work with Quickly and Jakob Poeltl, they have an extra guy in the other on the other side of the underneath the rim that now you have a double lob threat to where like Jakob Poeltl can either make that pass and connect or finish at the rim. So Darko, again, I cannot glaze this Raptors team enough. I think they're a legitimate team coming out of the East, and I love what they've been doing.
I agree with you, Jules. Like I said, my only question is the front court depth.
Sorry, I'm just trying to play with it right now. I'm trying to figure out how I can make this work. Let's see here.
For I guess for me, for some teams that are concerning to watch as of right now, the Orlando Magic topping that fucking list. Fire Jamal Tinsley. You're
easily get him out of there.
Get him out of there. The fact that they've been so inconsistent offensively to where you have two guys talking about doing the same thing, and Paolo's not being able to create a shot at 6'10" with his frame is concerning in a playoff setting. And Franz, who's been way better of a playmaker, not that great of a shooter still, but he's opening up the floor to where now, when we were talking about this before, Justin, Desmond Bane has been coming into his own this past week and a half or so. He's gotten into the system really well, but they're still losing games. So do they get rid of one of these two guys? I don't know. What are your quick thoughts about it?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't have any thoughts because we've been over this fucking what can Orlando do to get better thing for years now. Whether it's they have two players that are the exact same play type and one is hindering the other and da 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 da. I'm kind of overhearing it at this point. It's like if somebody in their front office actually had a brain, you'd trade one of them and build around the other one. But it just seems that that's not going to happen because they're not going to pick between Paolo and Franz. They're just not. That's just not something that's going to happen right now. They don't know which one's their future, which one's their identity. We all know it's Paolo. Whether you want to say it or not, it's Paolo, and Franz is the expendable one. He's not expendable by any means, but he's the expendable one of the two. Why? Oh, well, Franz is more efficient, and Paolo takes more shots that are not as, smart. And Franz is the guy you trade. Paolo is the Orlando Magic. It is what it is. You wouldn't have invested all this time, all this money, all the fucking background science to keep this motherfucker hydrated. Don't even get me started on that fucking situation from the whole Duke problems. But you wouldn't have put in all this time and money and wasted all this time if that was the guy you were going to trade. That's just not what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So if they're going to do it, you move Franz for value. And, well, he still has it. Because the longer we let this go, the more both of them are going to depreciate. But Paolo, because he's a namesake, isn't going to depreciate as fast as Franz will. So, what do we do at that point? What do we make options? What trades do we make? You got to go get a point guard. You have to go get a point guard. I don't care if Anthony Black just had a generational game tonight, had 27 in the first. I don't care. You have to go get a point guard. And what you need to do is you need to go get an actual true center because the guys that they've been shuffling at the true center position for them just don't work. So, with that, you get a facilitating point guard, or you go get a scoring point guard that can pass as well. I don't care. Figure it out. It's not that hard. If you motherfuckers want to say, oh, well, you're just thinking in 2K logic because you can just go straight for what you need. No, it's not that hard. You have needs and you have cap room and you have the guys that you can make expendable. Go do your fucking jobs. It's not that hard.
Fair.
You want to trade superstar for superstar? Go find a team that needs a 3-4-5 combo guy in a Franz Wagner type and move his ass out.
Yeah, I'm with you on them needing a point guard and a center. They do really need that desperately. If I'm the Magic, I'm going to go get a head coach as well in Mike Malone.
Here we go.
Well, they're having offensive issues, right? Mike Malone is a good offensive coach.
Yeah.
I think that they need to go get an offensive coach like a Mike Malone.
You mean the guy? You mean the guy who should have taken the Knicks job when we all talked about it because that's where he should have ended up to begin with? Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
I'm with you on that. I agree. It should have been Mike Malone.
Can I have Mike Malone? I understand my team's playing great right now, but can I have him? I don't really want this guy who was the assistant in Cleveland because you're just coming from a crapshoot. I don't want to deal with.
When you're not moved by Jordan Knott?
No, not in the slightest. You know how I'll be moved by Jordan Knott? Bring me a championship. Do you know who's not going to win a championship? Do you know who's not going to win a championship? Jordan Knott. You know who he's not going to win a championship with? The Phoenix Suns. You know who's not going to win a championship in my existence? The Phoenix Suns.
The Phoenix Suns.
I just, anyway, I'm over it. Anyway, moving on. The LA Lakers, specifically, this very fit-looking gentleman. Luka's averaging 34, 9, and 9 right now. Can Luka keep this? Can Luka keep this pace all year? And if he keeps this pace, and LeBron goes and sits on the bench and cheers on his son when he gets his 3 minutes a game, can the Lakers actually, make something happen?
No.
Because I'll tell you right now, LeBron hurts this team in the long run, whether you like it or not. Whether how great he is or not, LeBron hurts this team in the long run.
Go ahead, Gunnar. Go ahead.
I'm with you, Jules, on the no. I don't think Luka can sustain it myself. I think he can. It's gonna drop. Sorry.
You're good.
It's gonna drop down to probably around 29, 30 points a game, maybe 31. I think that Austin
Sorry,
Reeves.
phone told me to go fuck myself.
It's all good, Justin. I think that Austin Reeves should be taking on that secondary option, and with LeBron back, he is going to be a third option, taking away from that scoring of Luka, myself. However, just from what I was watching before going on, Luka's having an amazing game tonight. Already had like around 31 points.
Oh, I'm looking at it right now because I was just looking at Austin Reeves. In 33 minutes, he's already put up his average and then some. He's averaging 20. He's averaging 28, 5, and 7. He's at 27, 3, and 9. So, and there's 3 minutes left, and they're up 12 on the Clippers. So, if they can keep this up, if they can play like this, and the Clippers, I don't know why, were a lot of people's front runners, and they were going to be a lot. Either. I don't understand the hype behind it. I don't get it.
So I can tell you the hype.
The Unk Ball?
No, it's the name value. They were basing it off name value.
Name value does not win you games.
Yeah. But
Jules' phone must have told him to go fuck himself too.
Probably.
Yeah, there he is.
But yeah, I think LeBron James is going to probably start taking away once he gets back into that full-on rhythm as a third option. Take away from those touches, the shot attempts as well. Sure, I think LeBron's going to be running more with the second unit instead of with the starters, but
I don't see it, and I'll tell you this right now. I feel like everyone wanted to clown me last year when I said Austin Reeves is the future number 2 on this team, and him and Luka are going to be fucking great together. And everyone's like, oh, whatever, he only puts up big numbers in garbage time. This man was fucking carrying the Lakers with Luka and Bron out last year. For anyone to say that I was delusional for thinking that this was thing, this man is a phenomenal role player and can go get his when he needs to. I don't care if you guys say it's garbage time stats or they weren't playing anybody good. It doesn't matter. You're still in the NBA playing professional athletes. Cool. Does he look way better in his stats if he goes and puts up 55 against a bum team with no superstars out? Sure. Why not? But Austin Reeves isn't the guy who's going to give you 39 and 9 a fucking game. He's going to give you 23, 5, and 6. And right now he's giving the team 27, 5, and 9. You can't be mad about that from a second option, especially when your first option is, a circus act who can put up any shot from anywhere and it's going to go in.
That's fair, yeah.
So it's like, between him and Luka, if they can get the comparable pieces around them to work, and again, I'm going to say it every week we bring up the Lakers. DeAndre Ayton is not it. Figure it out. God, again, had the option to go get Nick Claxton and just fucking blew it. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't want the Lakers to win ever, but Nick Claxton was the perfect piece for this fucking team.
Yeah, either Claxton or Kessler, in my opinion. With
Lauri Markkanen.
Lauri Markkanen.
Throw his name anywhere he fits, because I'll tell you right now, I feel like for being the star, I won't give him the super yet because he's still a star and he's playing in Utah. Sure. I don't know if there's ever been a Utah superstar. Wink, wink.
Neither have I.
Yeah, but it's just his game translates so well to every fucking offense in the league. There is no way you can't tell me that if you need a guy, that Lauri Markkanen isn't the guy that could answer what you need. Like, I'll tell you, even if your star is a power forward or center, there's no way Lauri Markkanen couldn't come in and be your 3 and actually help your team out. Like, you can't. There's no team you can tell me that he wouldn't go help. Even OKC, with as deep as they are, he could still be a phenomenal piece on that team.
For sure. My thing on the Lakers really quick. I think you're misconstruing the valuability of where like LeBron is. I do think the off-court bullshit that he has had over the past few years has made it real to where, you know, the LeBron hate and where his value truly lies on this team can hinder where they can cap themselves, where I think you said that, and that's fine. But I still think LeBron isn't going to necessarily try to take away, even though he is at high volume, because he right now, I mean, you just brought up Austin Reeves stats. He right now is giving you 23, 5, and 4. So he can just kind of just be the cherry on top to where he is going to definitely take shots away. But at the same time, when Ayton is not playing, he can still roam around to where he can give you a couple of rebounds. He still plays defense in spurts. But you don't expect that for a 40-year-old, and I understand that shouldn't be the expectation because of how much is still on his shoulders.
The best thing for LeBron to do, and the best thing for LeBron to be effective in LA right now, and this might sound insane because I'm talking about LeBron James, the second greatest player of all time. If this man learned how to play box to box to free throw line and just play make from those positions, with his ability to play make and his ability to fit the ball through a fucking eye of a needle to get it to where it needs to go, will make this team so much better. Can you, like, it would be, if he's think about him, that we've always talked about, we need to find a big man to set screens because Luka loves pick and roll. If that guy is LeBron James, and that's the offensive scheme drawn up, and you let Austin Reeves just sit offside in a corner, oh boy.
Yeah, no, I agree. His first came back, he gave you 11 and 12, and he was actually doing a lot of what you were saying. He was off ball screen. And I think that's fine. And that's where I think the portability, like what his skill set as a 41-year-old guy, I think is so valuable because of his IQ can still be. I can give you fucking 15 points a night. I can, if you need me to be a good rebounder, I can give you at least 7 rebounds. I can give you a high efficient playmaking.
LeBron should give me 12, 12, and 12 a night. LeBron should average a low-end triple-double in this system.
That would be cool. I think that would be awesome. Cool. I just think where the deficiency lies, and you talked about it, and I've talked about it, Gunnar, I don't know if you're on this train, is DeAndre Ayton, because they're winning games without DeAndre Ayton at the helm.
I've been on this train as well, Jules. I know where you're going with it, yeah.
Again, because I've been, Big J Norm, I'm talking to you. The fact that DeAndre Ayton is giving you 20 and 14, cool, that's fucking great. That's fantastic. That has never been the expectation. DeAndre Ayton has always been an offensive big. He needs a guy to play make for him, and so he can get to the rim. He can't play physical, and he can't rim deter to where why do Lakers fans just can't accept that the reason why you guys lost against the Timberwolves is because you didn't have a fucking rim to turn? And if
I'm
you
gonna be
think
honest.
DeAndre Ayton,
I've never not been moved by 20 and 14 in my entire life. I've never not
literally,
been moved
This is
by
the
20
first
and
time in
14.
my life
This is insane. This dude will
yeah,
give you
he's a
buckets, but won't play defense and won't use. Like I said,
Yep.
I'm the expert on this dude. As a son, if this motherfucker would realize, holy shit, I'm 30 pounds heavier than the guy guarding me. I'm 3 inches taller than the guy guarding me. My
Yeah.
wingspan trumps this guy. But I can't drop, step, and dunk on him, so let me just throw up a sky hook that I have no idea what I'm doing. If Aiden knew how to play physical, we beat the Bucks. I'm telling you right
and,
now.
and I
Oh,
agree. And I think a bigger concern for the Lakers right now is that you're literally not playing Jared Vanderbilt, the guy that you just paid to go and play defense for you because you're outscoring everybody. Cool. That's great. What happens when you go and play the Thunder, who just put belt to ass to you? When are you going to go play the Nuggets, who put belt to ass to you?
About to
What?
ass.
Yeah. So like the echelon is OKC and Denver and everybody else. And the Lakers fans that think that they're in that echelon with them are delusional. And this is why I living here in LA fucking sucks because I have to hear this every single day from Lakers fans. And I'm like, you guys are not going to compete for a title this year. Go and revolve around Luka once LeBron gets that shitty contract out of LA and they can revolve around Luka properly. This is where you're 2 years at minimum away because it took a while for Dallas to get all these guys and go and get them. It's going to take a while for LA to go and get Luka all this help. He just needs it.
yeah. I mean, it's frustrating. Again, I don't ever want to see the Lakers win. I really don't. I can't stand the Lakers. I'm not a fan of the
Neither
Lakers.
do I.
I haven't liked them since I haven't liked them even before Kobe was there. I'm just not a fan. Not
As a
nothing.
Got a Celtics fan,
It's just
got a Spurs fan,
Yeah.
Suns fan. All hate LA.
yeah,
Fuck
but
LA.
it's just like it's annoying to me with the mind I have for the game that you have these executives that get paid so much money to do their jobs and they just can't do their jobs. I bitch about this every fucking week. To any team that somehow might stumble about this, Kevin Durant, I know you watched this because we brought your name up and you heard us. That's why you started playing better basketball. If there's any executives that make a good amount of money, I'll work for 1/5 of their fucking salary and I'll bring you a championship. I'll promise you that. But moving on. I want to talk the 76ers, and specifically, I want to talk Tyrese Maxey. I said it already in this. Tyrese Maxey is probably going to have his best individual season he's going to have in his career, and it's going to get wasted by this team. Yes, the other night they played the Bucks, and there was no Giannis, but Tyrese Maxey put up 54, and just absolutely couldn't miss, looked unconscious, honestly looked like prime Harden. He was making moves on everybody. He was hitting step backs. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
He was his mentor. He's playing exactly like Harden was.
And I think it's just sad because he's going to do all this and he's going to get so frustrated that Tyrese Maxey in the next 2 years is probably going to be looking for a new home. Because I think this man plays in Philly and will put in a trade request. He'll be like, fuck this, fuck you, I'm out. It literally will be one of those. And it's so frustrating. You chose Embiid. The man can't stay healthy. At what point do we choose Tyrese Maxey? Like, it's frustrating to me. I can't get behind anything that the Sixers are doing. I don't understand it. I don't understand why. VJ looked great to start the year, and they brought him. They drafted a guard that can make it helpful, and it's great. But Tyrese is locked into a 5-year deal that he restructured last year, and now he's locked into Philly for 4 more years. There's no way that this dude doesn't get traded. Yes, it's 5 years, 204. Who the fuck's going to be able to take on a $41 million salary? Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's going to have to make this move. Somebody's going to have to trade something because I can't watch this man waste his career in Philly.
It's unfortunate, and unfortunately for the Sixers, Embiid is hurt, so you go to your next best player, Tyrese Maxey, and that's
Always,
completely
but
fine.
but what does that matter?
Right. You will never win a championship revolving around a 6'2" guard that plays like this. You will never.
No.
And I'm sorry. I'm from the city of Philadelphia. You guys will hate me. I don't care. Allen Iverson couldn't bring you a title. Tyrese Maxey's not going to bring you a fucking title. Tyrese Maxey needs to be traded. You need to go get something while his trade value is high within the next year or two and revolve around VJ Edgecombe, who's the true franchise player for the next few years. BJ's playing defense outside of his mind.
Who's going to tell them that?
Apparently,
because they're still banking on Embiid.
Hey, Justin, maybe KD can put a word in for us because we know that he listens to this podcast. So, VJ is going to be the next guy. Because funny enough, I just made the comparison. Tyrese was mentored by James Harden while he was there. He takes his playmaking jump. He's hitting these step back threes. He's playing just like James Harden. VJ Edgecombe playing a lot like the small forward that's there in Paul George. And even though Paul George has been hurt, been making these comparisons between the two.
Great. So what you're telling me is that in the next year and a half, VJ Edgecombe will have a podcast. Got it. Sick. So I guess my biggest question then with this team that I really want to kind of get into with both of you, because Gunnar, your team sees this team quite frequently. You're pretty close knit
seen
with
them
this
already
team.
3 times. Yeah.
With the East being so fucking wide open, besides Detroit, and I don't care that there's teams within 3 games of them, it's still besides Detroit, because these other 2 teams are going to skid at some point. What does Philly have to do, or is it even possible for these guys to separate and move into that top 3, top 4, top 5? What do they need to do? Do they need to make a trade? Do they need to scheme it? What can they do?
It's probably a trade. I predicted Philly as a 7, maybe 6 seed this year going into the season. Yeah, no. But I predicted them that I was expecting this jump from Maxey, not this type of jump, out of him. Which is great. But historically speaking, as Jules was saying with smaller guards, a smaller guard usually does not win you a championship as the number 1. So
he can do it. He can do it as the number 1. I'll tell you that right now. He has the skill set. Fuck his size. He has the skill set.
He has the skill set. Sure.
He can't do it by himself. Is the key words we're talking about here.
Because no, I agree.
Allen Iverson, and sorry to my buddy Rodney Buford, love you to death, man, but Allen Iverson dragged some bums to go get whooped by Kobe.
I mean, yes and no, because he had a defensive player of the year, he had the coach of the year, and 6th man of the year. So if you need all of that to revolve around a high volume scorer,
just curious,
then go get the number 1.
What were the stats? And what were the stats for that qualification in 2001?
Well, before Theo Ratliff went down, he was going to win Defensive Player of the Year. They go and trade for Dikembe Mutombo. He wins Defensive Player of the Year. So regardless, it was either going to be a Sixer, regardless. And I'm trying to put context for with Tyrese is why there's only been 2 or 3 players in NBA history to win a championship as the best players, and Isaiah Thomas in Detroit, Steph Curry, and depending on what you value in the 60s, is you need to revolve around them being literally the number 1 rated defense in the NBA.
Just because you 2 are in here, I'm going to say this because it's funny. There was basketball in the 60s.
Fuck you.
Yeah,
but but the problem is that how historic the Thunder's defense is. You're gonna have to get something along those lines to go and get Tyrese Maxey into any kind of conversations because they could get out of the East and that's completely fine. good luck against OKC. Good luck against Denver. You know what I mean? It's like you're chopping at the bit against losing, either getting swept or losing in 5 against 2 historic teams. So if you make a trade, go ahead.
If they played against either one of those teams, I don't think Maxey averages over 24 points for the series.
Look, and that's what I mean, is that he's going to look like prime Allen Iverson. He's giving you 30. He's shooting 35% from the field. He is chucking. And we all care about heart.
He's going to look like 6'2" Jason Tatum?
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
Anyways, it's like I'm with Tyrese being great, but you evolve around VJ Edgecombe. He has all the intangibles, playing both offense, defense. He rebounds pretty well. The only thing that he needs to work on is his playmaking skills, and that will, I think, eventually develop sooner rather than later, to be honest with you. Because I love Kelly Oubre. Andre Drummond. Talk about Andre Drummond looking like prime Andre Drummond. 14 and 20. Like,
God damn it. I knew that's where you were going. Look at Andre Drummond looking like prime Andre Drummond.
I'm just saying, I think if Tyrese stays here for the long term, the Sixers fans are going to be more in a drought, because you're not telling me as the number one option they're going to be beating the Pacers or the Celtics or even Detroit.
They're not beating any teams in the top 6 right now with him as the number one option. Yeah, they might squeak out Cleveland, but they're not beating the Pistons, Raptors, Heat, Knicks, Hawks. They're not. Those teams are built to rotate on you.
Yep. Is it fair to say it's time for Joel Embiid to move on?
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Move on to the retirement home, not to another team. Bye-bye. Nobody can. You can't ruin your franchise by taking on that contract if you can't stay healthy.
And one thing, again, being from Philly, and I got a lot of shit for this take a couple years ago, they should have traded Embiid before he won his MVP, because I called this kind of shit.
I agree.
I think he should have been. I think he should have been traded after 22, because of where everything was headed. Maxey was on the spearhead coming up. Obviously, he's where he is now, but Maxey had the potential. They had revolving pieces around them, so you go and get your max value, because if you remember, there was talks back in the day when Jimmy left and he went to the Heat that Embiid wanted to go to the Heat for a bit too, because he loved Jimmy Butler. So if you were able to go and try to go get Bam, imagine Bam and Tyrese Maxey. That's
That'd
at least
great.
That's a good. I think that's good. I don't think that's like, okay, we're contenders now, but that's
they're contenders. Bro. Don't you know how good Bam is all time?
Yeah, he's better than Shaq.
He's
right?
a top 10. He's a top 10 center all time.
I'm just saying. I think Embiid should have been traded a long time ago. And if you revolved around Maxey back then, you'd be looking a lot better now, because now you just shit the bucket because PG is still there on that horrible contract. Embiid's got a terrible contract. Maxey's gonna have a terrible contract, and so you look to.
PG won a ring last year, dude.
On his podcast.
No, PG won a ring, bro. OKC won the championship. PG gets a ring.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But yeah,
I'm with you.
Yeah, this team could be good, could be great, but they won't be. I want to move on to his predecessor. Harden's averaging 28, 8, and 6 this year, but does he finish the year a Clipper? Like, this unk ball thing they tried to build, it ain't it. And Clippers fans, all fucking 7 of you that there are,
all 7 of Miles, shout to you,
Shout out Miles. Yep.
Yeah, well, there's 7 Clippers fans, and then there's a bunch of Kawhi bandwagon fans. That's what it is. I'm convinced at this point.
Whoa.
I said it. Jules, you're involved in that, but you're a Spurs fan.
That's disgusting.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
But yeah, no. He needs to not be here. I get why he's here. I get what they thought they were trying to do, but if they wanted to be the number 1 team in I'm hosting an autograph signing, that's probably what they'd be. As far as when it comes to playing basketball, This ain't it. And if another motherfucker tells me that James Harden should go team up with KD again, might have to tear their throat out because they've tried to do it twice. Did it work either time? Didn't think so.
It's inevitable. Harden, Russ,
yeah,
KD.
It is.
Cool. Death, taxes, and Harden, Russ, KD on a team. Yeah.
Oh
go.
my gosh! Hold on. It makes sense. Send them to basketball hell in Sacramento. Sorry, hanging.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, I don't know where Harden fits, and it's definitely not in Houston because as much as you guys say he's a good piece, it ruins their offense. I don't care what you have to say. We talked about how I said that they need the point guard ability and this, that, and the other, and that this might be the fit. It's not the right fit. It's not. He takes the ball. He's too ball dominant to actually be the answer here.
So I might before you finish, I might walk this back because if James Harden leaves the Clippers, the OKC Thunder have a top fucking 3 pick, and we need to be saved from the OKC Thunder.
Yeah.
We can't have
that. Well, AJ Tabanza, welcome home.
Fuck off.
Here's the thing, though. This is what I would love to see happen. Hear me out. OKC doesn't need another piece. They're already young enough, and they're going to try to retain everybody they already have on salary, right? James Harden leaves, that pick becomes significantly more important. Mm-hmm. That is where they go and make the trade piece at the deadline to make a deep run. Harden gets traded. Within hours, that pick becomes a top 3 pick, and they move it for some piece to go win back-to-back championships. That is my thought behind it. That is the thought I've had the whole time behind it. I don't know how it happens. I don't know who it's for. I don't know why. But there's got to be a team. Oh, here we go again. Lauri Markkanen, Utah, that could really use the rebuild piece, that could really use potentially another top pick because Ace Bailey's a fucking bum. They could just, there's things that you can see in motion that nobody really wants to see and nobody really wants to talk about because, like you said, right there, nobody wants to see Harden leave the Clippers because then OKC gets a better pick. Understandable. Get that. Got it. But in OKC's defense, you go get another role player. You go get maybe a package of role players. You can swap out guys that you think aren't a value to your team that could be valuable in other places. It is literally the easiest thing for OKC right now. They can play pick and choose on who they want to rotate around their starting lineup.
Which I agree with. And I was actually going about this with a couple OKC fans. Shout out to Cody. Shout out to Raven. Relative good Thunder fans. You guys are awesome. I think because they have a couple expiring contracts that are going to start within the next year or two. The first 2 being Lou Dort and Isaiah Hartenstein, and they're gonna make a decision between the 2 of who they're wanting to give up or to retain. And I think they're gonna want to. You could do that. My thing is that they get rid of Hartenstein because he's going to be owed almost $30 million. And
you're telling
that
me that
saves
they
them
couldn't
$30 million.
You couldn't send Lou Dort and Hartenstein for Lauri Markkanen? There's your rebuild pieces in Utah?
Well, and that's going to depend on how, like that contract with Lauri would look really bad in OKC. I don't know. Actually, they might be cool. Yeah, I don't know how close it would be to the second apron, but because of SGA being so ball dominant, I just don't like having a secondary scorer with J-Dub not being there. Could be great, obviously, theoretically. I don't know how they go forward, and they don't want Chet to be their true 5. That's my big thing because Chet's been playing the 4 a lot this year. How do they go about it to where, okay, Hartenstein, our main rim protector, is out? Do we go in and actually not trade that pick and hopefully the Clippers just bail out and we go get DeBonza and have him and Chet be like, that's so scary about OKC is that, okay, Hartenstein, go by. Okay, the BYU kid that is going to probably be National Player of the Year. Oh yeah, we're going to now three-peat with you. You come here. Like, they have so many possibilities that it's not only they are the best team, but they have the best future.
It can
and
go
I've
any
never seen
way
this
at all.
ever.
Yeah.
I've never seen this ever since the fucking '60s Celtics, Gunnar, because Red Auerbach would trade
Red
these players.
Sim.
Yeah, because he would trade these players out of the bottom of the draft because there's only 8 to 12 teams, and then go get a top 2 pick. Like, this is Red Auerbach type of shit that Sam
And
Presti's
that's
doing.
what makes them scary, is like, because it's a great example. Because they can just keep retooling with different pieces every single year, it feels like. And it could, I'm not saying that it will, but it could lead to a dynasty semi like the '60s Celtics.
And I think I said it best when I talked about the OKC thing in the offseason. They have these expiring contracts. They have this window. They have this. And again, everyone doesn't want to believe me when I said it, but I feel like 2 to 3 championships in a 5-year window for this team. If
It's doable.
they don't do it, it's a fail. I'm telling you, the way that they are set up now and set up for the future, 2 to 3 championships in the next 5 years going to the OKC Thunder, especially with the state of the rest of the league right now.
Yep.
It's a fail. It's a fail. It's all for nothing. If you'd made this Paul George trade and brought all of these first-round picks and got Shea, who developed into something that nobody thought he would be, if you got all these pieces in line, you are set up for the next 5 years. You are set up with contracts that are friendly until you have to pay them. And you don't win. It's a fail. You did all this for nothing. Cool, you set your future up. You look great on paper. You could be a contender every year. But if you're not bringing home the ring at the end of these years, it's a fail. That's the thing. It's a win-now mentality with a setup for the future. That's what they have. But if they don't bring home the hardware, it's a fail. So, anyway, that's all I have on the week. I want to move into this fraud watch.
Mm-hmm.
First one on the list is my team. I think, and this is just me, because I do love my team. Sitting in the 6th spot at 11-7.
Mm-hmm.
Are we fighting above our weight class right now? Even in the 6th.
You mean
spot?
like? Do you think you're winning against teams that are just better than you?
I think we're just too big for our britches right now, because we are supposed to be a bottom 4 team in the West. And I do think we still finish a bottom 4 team in the West. So, my question behind the Suns, because I have a question behind all of the teams for their frauds. Booker has looked phenomenal. He's looked great.
Yes.
He's looked back
top
to
10 player of the league by top 10 player of the league.
Best shooting guard in basketball. Yes.
As of right now, I agree.
With Devin Booker's volume of shots, will the inconsistency of his shooting hurt this team, or is it a necessity for them to continue to play like this?
No, Gunnar,
it's a huge question on that one.
Yeah, I think it is.
Because I know the answer. I just want an opinion outside of my answer.
Sure.
I think that the inconsistencies of Booker, like shooting wise, might definitely can bite them in the ass. My question is also, can the role players keep stepping up to the point that they are right now, right?
Yep.
Because they're stepping up in a huge way throughout this year. When I've been watching the games, it's like, I'm not sure that they can. However, if the role players can like keep swapping out like who's taking over this night to help hide the inconsistency of Booker, they might be fine, you know?
So my answer behind this is it is 110% absolutely a necessity. And here's why. If he can build momentum, even with the inconsistency, if he can go on runs during games, it's going to floor raise the role players.
That's for sure.
If he doesn't go out and do this, if he were to slow down and try to take better shots and this, that, and the other, it hurts the team in the long run because they'll never get into grooves. They'll never do any of these things that are helping these younger guys raise or these veteran guys play to the ability they are. Dylan Brooks, as much as I hate him and he played for a college I really love, has been a phenomenal trade piece. And I never thought I would ever say that about Dylan Brooks because he's been a cancer everywhere he's went. So it's been nice to see him actually fit the scheme and the system. There are guys on this team that do need to step up more and do their jobs. I'm talking about the other two guards being Grayson Allen and Colin Gillespie. These guys do need to step up and they do need to continue to raise their play. The thing that's killing me, though, and it's really killing me, is we have one center on our team who is young, who is stuck behind another young center. I don't know how we can get him more minutes. I don't know how, after trading for Mark Williams, he can get in. But Malawak needs minutes, and I think this man can actually be a game changer on the floor if they actually give him a chance. Because he's a 19-year-old 7-footer who can be the rim protector we need. And it's just, it makes no sense to me how these two aren't platooning and splitting minutes 50-50. They're on arguably the same contract. They're 4 years apart in age. And they both play a fairly similar game. Mark Williams might be a little more polished, but how do you expect these guys to grow if they're not getting a chance?
Yeah, and that's my biggest thing because Justin, we've talked about it before. I've been high on Malawak for a minute too. He's actually one of the very few guys that I did some draft stuff on because I'm just not big into the draft, but Malawak was kind of a good watch in college. I don't know because up to now, Mark Williams hasn't necessarily been. Actually, he hasn't. He hasn't even attempted a three this year. So they're not spreading the floor with Mark Williams, which I find pretty surprising. Where I'm concerned with is with Ott, talking about him, is he's playing a lot of this like heliocentric role with Devin Booker, which I do think that he does need the role, like need the ball in his hands, but I think having another guard, and that's why we were talking about ball a little bit earlier, having another guard to be a secondary ball handler and relieve Devin
Yeah,
Booker.
absolutely. I would love Lonzo Ball on my team.
No, just somebody, and if it's in house, in what Colin Gillespie has given you as a sixth man has been fantastic. I watched him in high school. He's from around my area in Philly. He's been fantastic. Shout out to Colin Gillespie, but like, I think there needs to just be another ball handler with him because we saw it. You saw it with Chris Paul, right? To where having two dual guys who can either run, P&R or these off-ball actions and create and leverage their scoring ability. Because what I saw when you guys beat us yet again, you guys are fucking Spurs merchants, is that basically Booker's getting blitzed like a motherfucker because everybody knows that Devin Booker's going to have the ball. And what Booker's been great at doing is giving it to Allen, giving it to Brooks in the corners, and they've been able to score. So can that maintain throughout the season? I don't know. It's been a small sample size. It's been almost only 20 games or so. So basically Booker needs to be a little bit better at his shot creation for himself, but also at the same time, he needs somebody else to step up that is young and maybe running Gillespie and Booker getting back to the real two. Because I know everybody says, I know you say he's a two guard. He's running the point guard this year. He just needs some relief, and I feel bad because they're winning games, but I just don't know how much that's going to maintain. Now with Malawak and Mark Williams, Malawak, you need to find something to where Malawak is not giving you 5 minutes a game in garbage time. maybe you're not.
Yep.
I thought he had one of the best motors coming out in this past draft. Legitimate shot blocker, a legitimately good rebounder. If you don't necessarily need to even run double big lineups because of spacing, but start asking Mark Williams to space the floor a little bit. If Kel'el Ware and Bam Adebayo are playing and Bam Adebayo is a shitty fucking shooter, you can do it with Mark Williams and Malawatch. I think it's I don't know, but there needs to be a little bit of both. I think there needs to be better with the roster construction in these lineups, as well as Devin Booker needs to be a little bit better with the shot creation for himself, because I just don't know the lineups of Allen and Brooks, and Gillespie, and even Royce O'Neal is going to be maintaining throughout an 82 game sample size.
Yeah. All right, and then I cut my list down because my phone's starting to get to that point. I cut my list down to one other team I'd like to talk about on this fraud watch list. And it's not so much their play right now, it's their front office. Their off season they had was lackluster. Kind of confusing to me. This team should be a competitor in the West, but doesn't want to make moves to actually get better. And it's the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Agreed. That's my number one.
I just don't get it. I don't get how you guys, like, we talked about it last night, is you lose your best point of attack defender in Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Does his best on his cousin in the playoffs that he possibly can. And obviously, well, Shea is Shea, so he's going to get his. But if you guys want to be a contender and you want to be in the money and you want to try to do this every year, how do you not fucking do anything in the offseason? How do you let this team play sink or swim every year with what they already have? Yeah, cool. You made the move to go get Julius Randle for Cat. It's a good move in hindsight for them. It gives them a better playmaking big who actually wants to attack the basket a little more than I think Cat does. He takes a lot of the playmaking load off of Ant's shoulders, and, well, Mike Conley just is there. So that's just that. But I don't know what this team needs to do to move forward. I do know that their front office should probably pay a little more attention to it and try to actually do things that are best for the team. But you guys are wasting a generational talent in Anthony Edwards, and it's just kind of starting to become frustrating at this point. Because at this point, Ant's going to have more kids than he has rings, and that's going to be a little more concerning than I want it to be.
I think for the team, because I'm looking at their metrics for themselves, they're basically either they're rather mid.
I was going to say they are the definition of mid.
Definition of mid.
Yeah, they're mid offensively. They're slightly above defensively, and that's because of fucking Gobert. But like, even then, Gobert's taking a step back. I think defensively this year. He has stones for hands. He's not like in limited amount of shots. Yes, he's giving you almost 75% of the rim, but like, who gives a shit? They needed to go get a fucking point guard, and they just didn't do it. They said Dante DiVincenzo, here's the helm, and within 3 games they realized, oh shit, that's not going to work. Rob Dillingham looks like Chris Finch doesn't like him. He's giving you 11 minutes a game. He's not going to solve anything. Mike Conley's old. He's giving you 20 minutes a game, and he's spot starting. So this is the big question, where like the big free agency names at the point guard with Ja and LaMelo have always are now gearing towards Minnesota, to where, do we give up our future for Ja Morant or fucking LaMelo Ball? We don't know. And it looks like they're probably going to have to sign themselves up for that. And they're going to be on the downward spiral. Because, Justin, you were talking about Tyrese Maxey wasting his prime. Anthony Edwards is going to waste his prime on this Timberwolves team, to where he's going to give you 28 points a night on good volume 3-point scoring, and he's actually looked a little bit better from the mid-range this year. But other than that, they're fucked.
Also, what I'm seeing out of the Wolves this season, if they're in close games in the fourth, I'm gonna relate it back to the Boston Celtics in a way. They can't close out games at all, right?
Yeah.
Or it feels that way. Whenever
They
it
have
comes
no
to
fuck. They have
crunch
no
time,
fuck team. None.
yep, they just can't close out games. And it's like, why can't you close out games, especially against teams like the Kings, you know? The Kings aren't a great team. We know that. Why aren't you why are you being forced into an OT? Sure, Keegan Murray, great game. Malik Monk, great game, especially in the fourth. But Zach LaVine didn't play majority of the fourth quarter and majority of overtime. What are you doing? You know?
Yep.
Gunnar, I'm glad that you understand that because we just had the same discussion in our football podcast about how if you're meant to beat a team and you're head and shoulders better than the team, you shouldn't be doing it in overtime. And
Yeah.
the response I got from said third-party co-host that's not here was, well, it doesn't matter, they won. That's not how that works.
No, it's not how that works.
That's how sports work. When you let a bad team hang around, they normally beat you.
Yep.
Yep.
So,
No, agreed.
why let it happen? But, I don't know. This team has a lot of question marks for me, and I really wanted to see this team succeed because I was very high on Ant, but I just don't know if succeed is going to matter.
I got another thing too. Chris Finch isn't the coach for them. I was talking to the residential Minnesota Timberwolves fan on TikTok earlier. He wants the assistant coach to be the head coach of the Wolves. And that's what Mismatch said. He'd rather have him than Chris Finch, because Chris Finch is pulling some Tibbs shit.
Low key. I can see that.
Good thing what he says normally doesn't carry weight, though, so we're good there.
Miswashed. Fuck miswash.
But yeah, we'll definitely get into more of that next week. Believe me, there's plenty of fraudulent things to talk about in this NBA this year, and we will get into more of it. All right, well, this will be less fun for me this week. I'm not exactly happy about it because you two tend to agree on things a lot better than you and said other co-hosts. So, pick 3, cut 5. Normally my favorite part of the show because I get to watch Jules and Retro try to tear each other apart over things. And I like to push my own narratives in this a lot of the time because I'll pick players that they're very high on and try to get them to not pick them in this scenario. Jules, I'm pretty sure you're kind of safe this week.
Okay.
The first one, continuing a theme from the other podcast, is best NBA 2K cover athletes.
Ooh,
that's a good one.
So you need to pick 3, Gunner. You're allowed to cut 5. So, the first one up is Kobe Bean Bryant.
okay.
Is that 09?
Something like that.
That's not a bad cover.
I believe it was 2007, if I remember correctly.
Oh, was it 07?
Am I thinking about NBA Live? I think I'm talking about. I think it's NBA Live.
I'm thinking NBA Live.
I'm pretty sure Kobe's been on multiple covers because there was the year he was on the cover, and then there's also the year where there was the Mamba edition.
Yeah. So.
No, 2K7 was Chris Paul. Yeah. So I actually like that cover. A decent bit.
You're still just picking players. You're still just picking players. You don't got to look at the cover.
Oh, you're picking players? Oh yeah, cut. Fuck that.
Yeah, that's a cut. Okay. Because that's where I got confused. Was like,
no, you're good.
Are we doing covered?
You're still picking
are we doing players?
No, you're still trying to pick the best 3 players.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think I'm gonna cut Kobe.
This is where actually Jules might get his feelings hurt. Kevin Garnett.
Oh, it's 2K. KG.
That's
it's very early. It's very early for KG, Jules.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking early.
That's early.
Gunnar, what are you feeling? Do you want to cut or do you want to keep?
I myself would cut.
We'll go with
Yeah,
cut.
it's
Cutting KG. All right. Next is 2K5 Ben Wallace.
2K5 Ben Wallace. What was that cover?
It's literally the most basic shit cover.
basic
it's him
shit.
with a
Yeah,
white
it is.
background.
I know that. Yep, it is. That's a fucking cut, in my opinion.
That's a cut. I'm looking at the shit now. Yeah, fuck that.
All right. Next is point guard Chris Paul.
That's a keep.
Yeah, that is a keep.
Better than Kyrie.
Better than John
facts.
Stockton.
Yeah, guess who has a 2K cover and guess who doesn't? Chris Paul.
Uh-oh.
Next is Luka.
Oh, I hated 21, dog. I played the
Stop
shit out of it.
thinking
And
about the game
sucked.
and think about the player.
No, don't tell me what to do.
All right.
I would
fuck
say
the game though. I agree.
I mean Luka.
Check sure.
We should have kept fucking KGs. Suck my dick.
You should have kept KG.
My bad.
Nah, we're fine.
No, it's fine. Doesn't always blame me when it comes to this.
Yeah, dog, it's Justin's fault.
Yeah,
we'll keep Luka.
Got it.
I don't mind that.
Next is my favorite player and arguably one of the coldest looking NBA covers there's ever been. Is the Devin Booker one.
That's a cut.
That's a cut.
That's fine. You got one keep left and two players. Next is Giannis.
Oh, 2K19. That wasn't like a great one. Giannis is a player better than KG. But we have one keep left. Fuck. And there's
potential for LeBron and MJ.
You were cutting Giannis. We're cutting Giannis.
Okay.
We're cutting Giannis. And I know what he's gonna. I'm fine with cutting this guy. Trust me.
Cutting Giannis to keep Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
That's fine.
All right. Here's where you historians get to have a little fun. Jules, you've done this for 3 weeks now. Let's see if you can get one of them right. Best individual season.
Okay.
86-87 Magic Johnson.
Okay.
That's an instantaneous keep. That's his peak. That's his best year.
Yeah, that's his best fucking year. Yeah.
Okay. 85-86 Bird.
Gunnar.
Jules, please.
Gunnar.
Please.
Gunnar.
Please.
Gunnar. Gunnar.
Please.
Gunnar.
That's Bird's best season, Jules.
Dog, I want you to think about this.
He doesn't know, Jules.
Gunnar. No, he does know. He pushes me against this layer. Dog, I want you to think about this, okay? I want you to think about this. We have how many more names?
That's true. There could be Jordan. There could be
We
Braun.
have 6 more names after this.
Hold on. Fine.
We're using.
Fuck you. But fuck you.
We're cutting Bird.
Yeah, we are.
Fuck you, but fine.
And that's his best year. That's his best year.
Fuck you.
Yeah. You know, this just, like I said, this is just one of those where I knew I'd get somebody to rage, and I love it because I knew this is where it would be. Next is 11-12 LeBron.
11-12? Jules!
So wait.
Fuck you.
Because I personally value LeBron's peak as around this range. It's definitely better than that fucking white boy. I would Gunnar, if you want to cut this, we can cut this. Give it back because LeBron's my goat. So
this list gets so nasty.
You have to take 11 and 12 is just not as...
Gunnar, just listen to Jules a second.
Yeah, so if we were to just rewind, so we would have kept Magic, Bird, and LeBron, and then listen to the other names who are
That's
arguably
true. That's true.
probably
No,
better. So
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
So we're cutting
I'm just
LeBron.
saying. We'll cut
Yes.
Labuki.
Got it.
Yes.
Got
We'll
it.
cut
That's not
Labuki.
LeBron's best year. That's my thing.
That's fine.
I think it's
Well,
either 12
Gunnar,
or 13.
players don't repeat on the list.
Mm-hmm.
70-71 Kareem.
This is what I'm saying.
That's interesting.
You wanted me to keep fucking Bird and not get Kareem. Yeah, Gunnar. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm taking 86 Bird as
Dog, you're
well
not
as
taking
71
86 Bird.
Kareem.
You're not taking 86 Bird over fucking Kareem.
What are we doing here?
We're keeping Kareem.
We're keeping
Right?
Kareem.
We're keeping Kareem.
That's his peak.
I love where this is going. You have one.
Because I already know Shaq's. I already know Shaq's gonna be on this fucking list.
Shaq is not on this list. I'll be honest. Shaq's not on here.
Okay.
82-83 Moses.
I don't
To me,
think
that's a cut.
I would say that's a tough cut. Like best player on a championship team, he's giving you what, like 27 and 15, right, or something around that, 27 and 14.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, he's okay. Kareem's, but I can justify 71
Third greatest
over
team
Moses.
of all team. Yeah, I could too. Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
15-16 Curry.
Overrated.
Yep.
I do not care about the unanimous MVP. Steph Curry fans, fuck you.
It's
his peak. It's his peak for sure.
He only has the regular season though. I'm not moved.
Yeah, the postseason.
Give me the playoffs. Yep.
Yeah, we're cutting. Fuck.
In my bag, like the fries are at the bottom. 66-67 Wilt.
Come on, Jules. That might be.
That is his peak.
Yeah, that might be a keep. Not gonna lie, in my opinion.
Well, I want to. Okay, so Gunnar, so you haven't been on the show, right? What Justin likes to do is put something completely outrageously good right before the last one and get you as an aha moment, being like, you just cut 89 Michael Jordan. So
fuck
like that kind of
Michael
shit.
Jordan.
That kind of shit happens so fucking much to me in retro.
Yeah, but this is we're talking about. Hold on. We're talking about the leader of the second greatest team of all time.
I mean, I would agree.
It's at 5%. We gotta get through one more of these.
I would say sure. Let's keep Wilt.
We're keeping Wilt?
Yeah, 24. Yeah, 24, 24, and 8. Sure.
Yeah, I'm keeping that.
Your last cut is 95-96 Jordan.
Yeah, that's not even speak. It's an overrated season.
That is an overrated season. Yeah, no.
All right,
I told you.
This one's kind of nasty, and I told Jules this already. It's what you value for shooting. Best season. All time 10 total.
That's just like 50% year from 3.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's when he has his legendary heat check too, but I'll cut Korver if you're agreeing.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, no, I'm fine with that.
So, Jules, remember when I said this is what you need to work on and what you need to value for shooting?
Yeah.
1920 Mitchell Robinson.
Wait, what?
Go look at his shooting stats for the year.
I got you. I'll pull it up real quick.
Field goal percentage was .742.
Yeah, he leads the league in field goal percentage at 74%.
Best field goal percentage in NBA history.
Yeah.
What's his true shooting, Gunnar?
That's a good question because I
like 66%.
Adjusted shooting. Oh, hold on. Why? I went past it. Advanced. He is 72.6, or he's .726 true
Jesus
shooting.
Christ, he's at 73%. Well, he's a shitty free throw shooter, so he's doing nothing but dunks. I'll cut Mitchell Robinson.
This is why I said
That's
it's Mitch
gross.
Yeah, it is. 72-73 Wilt.
That's his damn near like
He leads the
57%,
league.
I think.
It's the second best shooting
Yeah.
percentage season of all time, behind Mitchell
Yeah.
Robinson.
Oh well, he's old at that point, and he's taking
I'm not
limited
moved.
volume. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So I'll cut Wilt.
Cut.
71-72 Kareem.
This is disgusting.
You're welcome.
Wait, what was it? I'm sorry.
70 Kareem and 71-72.
Yep.
I would. Because I'm trying to remember, that was right off the championship
I'm
year.
at 2%.
I think. Go get your charger. I will keep 72.
That's it's not a bad free throw season either.
15-16 Clay.
I think that's a key. That's a key.
I would keep Clay.
Okay. 07-08 Nash.
08 Nash? I think 07 better, so I would cut Nash.
Okay. Got one cut, one keep. 22-23 KD.
That's one of his 50, 40, 90 years, I believe.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I'll keep KD.
I'd keep, yeah.
Alright, you kept KD to cut 15-16 Curry.
Yeah, Curry's a fraud anyway, so.
Yeah, it don't matter. What happened in the playoffs?
Well, Jules, my shit is going to die, so outro us and get us the fuck out of here.
Yeah, so that was another episode of We Don't Know Ball. Again, shout out to Gunnar for being here. This was
Thank you, Gunnar.
Of course,
yes,
my pleasure.
You, Gunnar. So thanks again. Please like, subscribe, share, talk about it. We would love to have some conversations with you guys in the comments. Leave us what you think, if we know ball or not. For Jules, for Gunnar, and for Justin, we're out. Peace, y'all.
Peace.